That would be my dream, dude.
Really? An open
Give
world
me
Mario Kart?
Need for Speed Mario, dude.
Yeah.
Where you like have your character, you pick your character, you go out on a journey with them. You find the other Nintendo characters driving around a world map. They give you some like little
Cool
dumb
missions.
quest.
Like the movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That game pisses me off so bad.
why?
Dude, it's like
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Red Essence Games podcast. I'm Nick,
I'm Arman.
and we are game developers as well as lifelong gamers. And in today's episode, we are just going to do a catch up because we have missed a couple weeks if you guys have been watching us, and that is because we've been slammed developing our game Traveler's Refrain.
Yep.
So,
It's been a wild ride, I think, the last couple months.
Yeah.
With development, things have just kind of gotten to the wire. The biggest things have had to get tackled, like the most game-breaking things had to just get tackled and finished, and a lot of art had to get done. There was pieces of code that we just like it worked a long time ago. We're just like close to release, and like things were just like falling apart. We're like we have to go back and fix that thing.
Yep.
Like, we can't release this.
Yep. There's a new human being that came into existence as well.
Yeah, I had another baby girl.
Yep.
Freya, and she's doing great.
Yep.
But yeah, I got 2 kids now.
Yeah.
And
A couple more gray hairs,
yeah, definitely no shortage of those.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of keep it casual today. Just kind of talk about some of the things we've been playing in the past couple of months, a little bit about development in Traveler's Refrain, as well as some stuff we're looking forward to, because there's been kind of a lot of like gaming news. I feel like we were like in a dry spell for a little while, and then we were just like bombarded in the past couple of months with some new stuff. So we'll dive into that kind of stuff. Yeah, so if you don't know, Traveler's Refrain is a 2D hand-painted action RPG for those of you who have given up on a dream. And you can actually go and check it out now on Steam. It would really help us out if you wishlisted the game. The wishlists actually go farther than you would think, and we could just use all the support we can get as we get closer and closer to the finish line. So yeah, go check that out, and let us know what you think of the trailers as well. We have some news coming up pretty soon, so just keep your ear out. You can also join us in our Discord as well, and come chat with us. You can chat with us about games, about our game, about what you're playing right now, whatever. We're always online, so come
we're
hang
in
out.
There, we're ready to chat. We've done some giveaways before, like picks and shirts and stuff like that with our logos on them. So we might come up with some other cool stuff in the coming months to kind of give away. So definitely come join us. Ask us questions. We love just chatting game dev and helping others in the industry. So
yeah. For sure. So man, what have you been playing recently?
So what have I been playing? Let's see. So I started playing Echoes of Wisdom, and then of course that kind of, man, I don't want to say got boring, but it was like it just felt like kind of bland after a while. Don't get me wrong, like the mechanics are cool. It's just, I don't know. There was this part that I kept like failing on, and it really triggered me. Anyway, so that
I'm playing it now too, and I definitely took a really long break with it, and I'm kind of hopping back into it. Where, without I guess spoiling stuff, like where did you kind of get to? There's kind of like the 3 big quests.
I did the first 3 big ones.
Okay.
Including like the Deku place.
Okay.
And I went back and I saved like a certain important person.
Okay.
And I'm like a little after that.
So have you kind of gone through the whole map already? Is your map pretty cleared?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I just finished the 3rd thing, and I'm going to do whatever the next thing is. So yeah, I can understand that, man. It's especially coming off the back of I rebeat the original Zelda on the little the little Game and Watch thing.
So
it was the 30th anniversary or 40th anniversary, whatever it was. 20, I don't know, whatever that was. That little green Game and Watch.
Anniversary, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's one. When did it come out? 80.
Oh, maybe I am right. Yeah.
Something like that. 85, 84. I don't know.
If it was 84, I'd be 20 years or 40 years, right?
that thing came out, but that came out a couple years ago. I don't know, whatever. We'll look it up after and fact check ourselves. But I don't know. Sometimes it's like nice to do something a little bit different from your normal console experience. There's just something about having the D-pad and the two buttons that I was like, I don't know. This seems like I would like play a little bit before I went to bed and stuff like that. And that's a game I just like always go back to. So I blew through that. And then I actually started the Link's Awakening, like the original one, on that as well, because it comes on there. It's the one that's not even in color, so it doesn't have the color dungeon. It's just the like black and white one.
Oh wow. Okay.
But obviously, like the Echoes of Wisdom is coming off of the back of the Link's Awakening
the
remake or whatever. Right. So
which was actually really good.
It was really good. So yeah, I'm like kind of seeing the juxtaposition between the play styles like right now, because I'm still playing that and Echoes of Wisdom. And yeah, sometimes you're running around in Echoes of Wisdom and you're like, I just want to hit someone with a sword or whatever, which you can sometimes kind of.
You know what else kind of like was different was in Link's Awakening, it had like that page style of movement. Oh. Where it's like you go to the next like screen.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I thought that was like, now that I like played Echoes of Wisdom and they've given me all this freedom to just move around, I kind of miss that old format, because like you knew like what you had access to within each of those blocks.
That's a good
like every time you go to them, you're just like, I've been to this one before and I know that I can't access that. But with Echoes of Wisdom, it's just, I don't know, maybe people like that. There's just like a lot more things to do. And
well, the other thing too is like, you know that within a square, if there's a puzzle to solve, it's going to be like within that square pretty much, you know, like especially in environmental, like outside a dungeon, you know, you're kind of just solving whatever's in that thing.
Right. But yeah, I think the older ones were also more like Metroidvania, right? They were kind of like a lot of the parts of the map, like you would get to into that like screen and you'd be like, okay, I clearly can't get to this part because I need the thing that lets you dash or whatever.
Yep. Or there's that like ridiculous trading sequence in Link's Awakening that you need like 5 million items to get through. And it's like mandatory for whatever reason.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have. Yeah, I'm playing it right now. You have to get the bananas, to get the dog food, to get the whatever it is. Those are literally some of the trading items.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's very endearing, and I think maybe that's, now that I'm thinking about it, that's another thing of Echoes of Wisdom is kind of like missing. Is like I don't know, the character storylines are very much like Breath of the Wild kind of storylines. Like they try to be like really emotional and like intense.
Kind of hard. I don't know. It's kind of hard to convey emotion in those games.
Well, so you did the one in the snow mountains with the like Sasquatch guy? I don't know. It's like in the northern part of the map. But that one like kind of had like an emotional like tinge to it.
It was like a Goron one, a Deku one.
Yeah, and then there's the snow one.
I don't think I got that far.
Oh, okay.
Are you further than me?
I don't know, maybe.
Did you save the person in the middle?
No. So that's why,
dude.
I don't. Yeah, that's why
I'm playing the same game.
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, go on. It's talking about story and characters, right?
Yeah. I don't know. We can move on from Echoes of Wisdom, but yeah, it's different. I am happy that they're kind of pushing mechanics in Zelda,
right? Because
I feel like what they've been doing is kind of like the last game kind of leads into the mechanics of the next, and I can definitely see, you know, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom breathe life into Echoes of Wisdom in terms of its structure and stuff. So maybe something cool from Echoes of Wisdom will appear in the next like main Zelda game.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, they have that like crafting mechanic where you make the smoothies and stuff, which is kind of cool, but I don't know. I guess I'm just not a huge fan of like that crafting stuff.
I what I like about it is like being able to use the I forget what they're called. The copy, like what is the main mechanic called? Whatever. The cloner. Cloner mechanic, whatever the main mechanic is. It's I think that's cool because you can kind of like find different ways to approach, the same sort of scenario, and I think that's what kind of the genius of Breath of the Wild sort of is. I do feel though that because the UI is so, you're just like scrolling through the whole thing. It's it's kind of annoying, and I just wish there was. It's almost like it wasn't like 100% thought out to the best it could possibly be. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can like hit square or whatever, and like kind of like sort
organize
them
it. Yeah.
Eventually find what you need, but I get what you're saying.
Dude, did you see? I don't know if anyone watches. What's his name? Mark Brown, Game Maker Toolkit guy.
I've seen a couple of his videos.
He put out one recently where he literally like in Unity reorganized, like made like 5 new versions of the inventory system.
Oh, from that game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's like, here's different ways we could approach like making it better, or more interesting, or more clear. Right. So that was kind of a cool exercise to watch. But yeah, let's move on from Echoes of Wisdom. So you're also playing. Tell me about Dragon Quest. Because I haven't gotten to play that yet.
Dragon Quest 3, or let's say Dragon Warrior 3 remake, 2D, 3D remake. Oh man, the game is just gorgeous. Like, yeah. I honestly I haven't played a game that looked like this since I think Octopath Traveler. But like,
you never beat that one, right?
No, I never beat it.
Dude, that game was so disappointing, man. They're like 8 unique stories, and the characters, are all interesting. It's like, I'm a thief and I'm sad because I stole something, or whatever.
What profession are you again? Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I got so annoyed because I wanted the characters to have more interaction. It's like every Final Fantasy game has a big cast of characters, but you see all these moments where they're really interacting. And there's those kind of like vignettes where you got to see them talk together, but it was just like very, I don't know, like it just wasn't what I was expecting. The combat was pretty fun, but that also I got a little bored with that after a while.
The combat, yeah. I could say something similar about Dragon Quest 3. I think it has a very dated combat loop in the sense.
Are you using Fizz a lot?
I am actually.
Fizz and sizzle,
yeah. Crackle. That's my trump card right now. Like the game, like here's the formula of the game, right? In those old school games, they just made you fight a ton of enemies.
Yeah.
Like over and over and over again. Yeah. And the enemies weren't necessarily that hard. There was just a lot of them.
You're just grinding.
It's not even that you're grinding. You're just trying to it's like a test of attrition. Like, how far can you get while you have to get to the end while fighting like at least 100 enemy like encounters, and it's like, can you make it in the end without like losing your mind?
Yeah. Oh my god, I feel like Dragon Quest is like notorious specifically for their like grindy, just like crazy encounter amount.
But I'll say the boss battles and stuff are like really fun. And like some of the story elements are really cool.
Those games in particular, I feel like you have to go in with the strategy you're going to use the whole time, and if the boss gets ahead of you slightly, you're just screwed. Like
you're playing catch up at that point.
Yeah. And it's hard to catch up.
Yeah. So in those cases, of course, only the real ones will know. You always got to have one guy doing damage, no matter what. Like,
because if you use everyone to heal for one turn, you're dead.
Well, it's not even that. If you do that, you're essentially like you're staying alive in the fight, but you're just burning through your mana.
Yeah.
And like eventually, they just whittle you down. Like you're healing so much less and less every turn until you just get destroyed.
Yeah.
So you have to have like a really solid support system in the beginning. Put some shields up, whatever, and then you got to kind of strategize. My brother had some really cool strategies.
You know what's the absolute worst though? I don't know if they're doing it in this game, but like you have your kind of designated healer, and then your healer gets wiped, and then you're like, I gotta revive my healer. You revive him, and then gets hit immediately again.
Yeah. You know what I do when my healer dies?
Huh.
I just go balls in.
Yeah.
All right, everyone attack. We're going to try to finish this fight.
You have to.
You have to just like go in. Because, yeah, like you said, like you revive the healer and then the healer just dies again. You're like, oh, he just wasted a whole turn.
That's the best feeling, though, when it's like you have one character left and you're like, please, just one more hit. Kill the boss.
That actually happened to me in this game. Yeah, I was fighting the Orochi boss, and it was the health turns like orange and then or yellow and then red when they're about to die, or orange. And I was like, okay, that's orange. He did his attack that like took out like my entire party except for my hero. I had 2 hits, and my like second hit like finished them off.
Nice.
It was like such an epic ending.
Yeah.
But like those are the moments I live for in these games, right? It's like. But yeah, it's a great game. I would say that if it's somebody who's approaching JRPGs from like a modern standpoint or someone who's younger, they might kind of be annoyed with the frequency of the battles because it's a lot. Like it's the volume.
That's why I want to ask you. They have a speed up feature though, right?
They do, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I would have that thing on the entire time.
Yeah, I had it on like medium in the beginning or like kind of second to fastest in the beginning so I could see everything and like understand what was going on, but then once I got the hang of things, I just sped it up. But yeah, it makes a big difference because but for some reason they didn't implement it in like the monster arena. You can collect, you can find monsters in the world and then have them battle in this arena against other monsters. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But for some reason they didn't implement the fast battling in that, so you're just sitting through like long ass animations.
Yeah, like Pokemon.
Yeah,
like modern Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, like Gen 2, Gen 3 Pokemon.
Oh my god, that's cool. Yeah, I gotta pick that up. I have the Final Fantasy Pixel remaster that I was kind of going in order with. I beat 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've only played 5 once, and it was a really long time ago. So I'm kind of excited to go back to that one because I really like the class system, which I know that Dragon Quest 3, Dragon Quest 3 also has. But do you end up switching your classes, or is it like you just pick at the beginning and you have them the rest of the time?
There's a mechanic in the like sort of like, I don't know how far in it is, but I passed it already. But you can basically roll a class. Like respec a character, and you lose a bunch of stats, but you still retain like a percentage of those stats that you've gained.
Oh.
And then you also keep all your spells and abilities.
Oh,
and you just like re-level them from level 1. But it has to make sense. Like I think for casters you would go from like a white mage to a black mage because then you can retain your intelligence, right? You wouldn't go from like a cleric to a warrior because that might be cool. I guess you could be like a versatile like warrior and a cleric,
like a red
paladin.
mage.
Like more like a knight or a paladin. But you're kind of I feel like with warriors, you kind of just need them to be strong.
Yeah.
And then for clerics, you need like that intelligence to kind of really get the heals that you need. I don't know. I think that you kind of have to pick how you do it, but you can kind of like, if you take the time to do it, you can not only give the character like an extra class, a new class, but more stats.
That's cool. Yeah, the only experience I have with that one is I have it on Game Boy Color, but I got it like in the past couple years and I never got that far, so I'm kind of itching to get into that one. I like that series. It's just I definitely don't like it as much as Final Fantasy, but it's fun. It's more like you kind of turn off your brain a little bit and you're just like kind of going through and looking at the cool Akira Toriyama art and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. What have you been playing lately?
Dude, I've been jumping around like crazy. So what I was playing for the longest time when we were like pulling like 16-hour dev days was like I'd cool down playing Hades, which sounds kind of counterintuitive, but that's a game that once you really get into it, you kind of get in a flow and you know like what weapons you want to use and you kind of just do runs, you know?
Right.
And my goal was like, because I tried playing it through like 2 different times and I never like got to the credits. So I finally played through and got to the credits. And for anyone that's played Hades will know that you get to the credits, that's still not the end of the game. There's like an actual ending to the game that kind of wraps up the whole storyline. And you just like have to keep playing and without like really spoiling it, there's a mechanic where you're kind of what would you call it? You know, in Persona where you're like linking with your friends, and you're like kind of you're like leveling up your relationship with your friends essentially,
Yeah,
right? What?
your all that. Yeah, confidants.
Yeah. It's got kind of something similar where you give them an item and you have to like keep encountering them and giving them an item and then keep talking to them, and it kind of like levels up the other like gods and stuff like that. And you have to level up a certain amount of gods to have an event happen at the end. But it's like, dude, lot of work. But it was, I don't know, it's like on one hand I was kind of feeling like it was overstaying its welcome, but on the other hand I was like, because I was in that mode of like, it was like a ritual. Like we'd finish working, I'd like get my Switch out and I would just like do a run. And it was the runs, I got the runs down to like 15-20 minutes at a certain point. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah. I mean, you get to this point where you get like pretty powered up, you know?
Yeah.
So you can kind of just like blow through stuff. And at that point, what you're trying to do more than anything is grind some of the like permanent materials so that you can more permanently level up your weapons and just kind of keep getting stronger.
Right, because you return to like this one room, right, where you can upgrade stuff like permanently.
Yeah, so there's like kind of like passive stats for Zagreus that you can level up, and then at a certain point, each of his weapons in particular have like different variations and also levels within the variations. What I thought was really cool, I think the coolest, most unique thing about this game is I've never played a game where mechanics just kept unfolding. Like, right. I played for like 30 hours and they were still like, oh, here's another thing that now we're going to do. Like,
it's like God of War.
Yeah.
God of War.
Yeah.
That, it's like, how did they put all these mechanics in this game?
I know. It was nuts. But I think what's so smart about their game design is like on the surface level, like I'm not trying to say that Hades doesn't have a lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, it's like there's like 5 worlds. There's a preset number of rooms in each one. You're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over. So it's kind of like they knew like, okay, if we make these things feel really good, then we can just inject so much replayability factor and so many new things to experience in each run that it like constantly feels unique. So I don't know if I would say I'd want it to be a 70-hour long game.
Yeah.
I think maybe I got the ending. It was probably like 50 hours because it was, yeah, my time was including the last time I tried to play through. But it's still a long game. So yeah, I like beat that. And then I went off the rails, like just playing a bunch of different random stuff because I was like, okay, I'm done with Hades. Like, what mood am I in? So I was playing Echoes of Wisdom. I got pretty far with that. I've had this urge for a long time. I've never played a Far Cry game.
Okay.
And I picked up the most random one that you'd be like, dude, you're so weird for. Yeah. But have you heard of Far Cry Primal?
Then when you're like a caveman or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For whatever reason, it fascinates me so much that there are human beings running around like with like no, like not even technology, like no invention except for like fire. You know what I mean? So I was really curious to like jump in a world like that and just see what the Earth looks like too, with like no huts even, like just no man didn't really touch anything. You know what I mean? I didn't get super far into it yet, but I kind of just got through like the intro just to kind of see what it I think so. I'm not that far. It right now it's kind of opening up.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's like an Assassin's Creed where it's like you're on a big map and you have like vantage points, you like open up new areas, there's like quests and stuff like that. So yeah, I played a little bit of that. Let me think, what else did I play? Oh, the other one I've been playing, but I took a really long break from this just because it's like you have to really be on the ball. But Metaphor Refantasio.
You beat it?
No, I didn't beat it. No. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like 20 hours in. That's like it's like an 80-hour long game, I think. But
yeah, I would love to play an ideal world. I just don't have time.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like really, really cool, but it's just like you have to sit there and like really think through like, okay, what am I doing on this day? Who are the people I need to like talk to? Like, I'm in a dungeon now. Okay, there's like so much like technical stuff that you have to. It's not like I just like, oh, I'm gonna just jump in and
Right.
whatever. Um, but I think the presentation of that game is like insane. Like I've never seen. I want you to just like look at the menus at some point because it's literally like we always joke like our game is like 2D hand painted, right?
Right, right.
But dude, the menus literally have like paintings that are animated. Like
Yeah.
they like frame by framed full paintings to like give them kind of this like idle animation, and it'll be like of the character's head or like of his shoes or something. And it's like there's other parts where you'll see the speech bubble come in and there's like weird like spinny things and like staticky stuff. There's just a lot of like visual noise that makes it like very cool to look at. I will say though at the same time, because you know me, I love fantasy and I love being in a fantasy world. But there's something about normal Persona where you're like a student and then at night you go and like fight
Right.
things that's like so cool. This feels like you're in a fantasy world and everything's kind of serious like all the
Oh,
time.
really?
Yeah. So there's some light parts, but it's a lot more intense overall on a day-to-day basis than Persona. Um okay, and then two more that I'm playing right now. The other one I jumped into because I never beat this one either is the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Oh, okay.
It's Square Enix, I think, published it, and I think, oh man, who was it? I think it's Eidos. Eidos Montreal was the developer. But it's got like really polished everything. Like it feels like you're playing a movie. It feels like one of those big, like a God of War type game. You know what I mean? So it's like the cinematics are cool, voice acting is awesome. The gameplay is like it's not the most immersive gameplay I've ever played, but I feel like a game like that, it's more like you're kind of just wanting to get to the next cutscene to kind of see what happens.
Yeah. Can you
So
play as all the different characters, or
you play
what's the
as
gameplay
Star
like?
Lord most well you are Star Lord and you kind of like issue ability commands to the other guardians. So like you like hold the trigger and then you hit like I don't know X for Gamora or whatever and then she has four abilities she can use. So but it's kind of cool because there's enemies like if we're going more game dev technical like there's enemies that have specific weaknesses and like Drax is really good at stunning enemies so you're like okay this guy I need to stun him so I'll summon Drax and then I'll go in and Star-Lord just kind of has his pistols you're like kind of like pop 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 and you're like kind of flying around with your little like boots and
Boots,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
That's cool.
It's cool. It feels good. You're like dodge rolling and stuff too. But the story is really cool and surprisingly because
Does it have anything to do with the actual Marvel storyline, or is it just like something off?
it's its own unique storyline, but yeah, they pull in from the Marvel lore. Like this isn't much of a spoiler, but like literally like an hour into the game, they find an Infinity Stone,
Oh,
but he doesn't know what it is, so he just like throws it away because it like hurts him, and he like throws it away, and then I haven't seen anything about it since then. You're just like, dude, freaking Infinity
yeah.
Stone. Like, what the heck? But what's cool is there's kind of like moral decisions you make with the characters because they're constantly bickering. So
Mhm.
sometimes Star-Lord will have to interject. That you literally get a button prompt like as you're running around where it's like diffuse the situation or egg them on or like side with Rocket or side with Groot
Oh, that's
or
cool.
whatever.
I like that.
And the way you're kind of
I like
like
old Dragon Age style. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
but because specifically you're like the leader, like everyone kind of looks up to you. So you can like really hurt a character's feelings or really like boost another character up. And because I mean, I haven't fully played through the first time, but I got past that point. I made different choices this time just to see like how much is this really changing it, and it like really changes the events, which is always really cool. So yeah, I'm playing that one, and then lastly, I picked this one up like a couple days ago. I feel like a crazy person, but I don't know, man. I get in these moods, and I'm just like, this just sounds like fun. I
I get what
start
you're saying.
I started playing Dark Souls 2.
Oh my god.
I never beat Dark Souls 2, and I have it. And what I've really been wanting to play is Lies of P, but I don't. It's like I have so many games I don't feel like just getting a new game just because to like scratch an itch right now. So I'm like, okay, I never beat Dark Souls 2. I'll play that one.
Yeah.
It's like the most obtuse freaking video game I've ever played in my life. It's like right at the beginning, you get a one-liner tutorial message that's like, you can light your torch at a bonfire. I'm like, okay. So I walk up to the bonfire. I'm like, how do I light my torch? So I go into my menu. I see the torch, and there's like a 5-minute thing. Okay, the torch must have a time limit on it. Okay.
Right.
So I must go into the menu then because I'm seeing it in the menu, and I must press a button to equip it somehow, right? Maybe it's like instead of your sword, or like, you have a sword and an alternate weapon. Maybe I equip it there and then I light it, whatever. I'm literally like tooling around for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I need to get a torch still. Maybe I'm missing one. So I run forward a little bit and I'm like in pitch black.
Yeah, even the menu is hard.
And I'm like, what the heck? So I turn to freaking Reddit because I'm an idiot.
Right.
And literally what you have to do, you have to walk up so close to the bonfire that there's another like thing. It says like toggle. You have to press triangle to toggle and it switches it to say light your torch.
What?
I'm just like, it's just stuff like that. That's
that?
like,
why is that?
I don't know, dude. It's decisions like that it's like they did that to piss people off, like for sure.
There had to be a reason the devs did this. Can you think of a reason, or are they just kind of messing with you?
I think they're just messing with you.
What the hell?
Yeah,
we won't mess with you in Travelers Refrain.
No,
I promise.
There's another thing too that pisses me off so bad about that game. I actually really like this one, but what pisses me off so bad, dude, is you equip rings to give yourself like passive buffs. So I have a ring equipped that gives me like quick stamina recovery, and I have little like really crappy green effects coming off my body constantly. So I have this cool armor on my character, and there's like little green sparkly things.
That's hella
constantly.
Yeah.
It never turns off.
That's cute.
I'm just like, who okayed this, man? Like, I get the game is like 10 years old at this point, but still, they had Demon Souls, they had Dark Souls 1, and then Dark Souls. This is the third game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Can't you get rid of it? And once you get the next chess piece, you just get rid of it, right?
No, they're rings and they're passive.
Rings.
So you can equip 4 rings. So what happened was then I got another ring that like makes me recover health.
Gotcha.
I'm like, maybe it'll cancel it out or something.
Right.
No, now I have little red sparkly things coming off me permanently. Yeah. Yeah. Drives me nuts. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So we got some news. Switch 2 coming out. New Pokemon coming out.
Yep.
Are you excited for either of those?
I'm very excited, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, you know how I wanted a PS5, but, like, I never got one. But I want a Switch 2. Like, I'm going to get a Switch 2. And, I've just always had the Nintendo consoles. I've picked up every single one. And, and like you said, it's like, it's just a better Switch. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we wanted, because the Switch was awesome. It was
I literally, I think I would have been mad if it wasn't portable anymore.
Right.
Like, the portability of the Switch has been such a game changer. And I've honestly, and I know you have too, have always been a handheld guy too.
Right.
Like, literally since I was like, 6 years old, I had a Game Boy on me like every day of my life. You know what I mean? Right. So the Switch is like amazing that it's like you could play like legitimate video games on the go still.
Yeah. What they need is for the Switch 2, they need like a smell mechanic. So there's a button you press, it releases like a very specific scent. So
I know they
like
literally
running
have...
through like a forest, and you press the grass scent thing.
Have you ever watched what's his name, Austin Evans, that nerdy like tech reviewer guy?
Maybe.
Well, he bought one that like connects to like either your console or your PC or something. So like you're playing Call of Duty and someone blows something up and you smell like gunpowder.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of like, I don't know, like meh.
Yeah.
And it's probably like super cancerous what you're breathing in, but
you remember the DS had that thing where you blow into it?
Yeah. Yeah. Link, blow your didn't he have like some sort of like little like leaf propeller at some point? You had to...
I played the WarioWare games, and like you have to blow into the DS like all the time. I'd be like gasping for air, right? It like erase Wario's fart or something with
Oh
the
my
air.
God.
The wind.
I mean, honestly though, that's what I love about Nintendo is like they're willing to do like dumb stuff like that, even if
Yeah.
they only use it for like one game. And speaking of that, like it's pretty obvious that they're doing like some sort of mouse thing with the Joy-Cons
Yeah, I
now.
saw that. That'll be interesting
You
to
know what
see what that
the
is.
big joke is?
What?
Like Joy-Con drift.
Oh.
Like stick drift.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't see in any practical application unless you're playing like one of those like civilization games or something, what the heck you would, or a shooter, I guess, if they're really going to start pushing those.
Yeah. That could be a thing. But I mean, you could play shooters with 2 sticks.
But
Shooters.
yeah.
It's just that the Nintendo console sticks have never really been like the best for FPS. I think it's just the way that I guess you.
But
can
that's what I'm saying. I think that if this is like legitimate, they're doing this to appeal more like PC gamer. They're like, oh, you could play, Fortnite or whatever, and like actually have more control with your little pinky mouse thing.
It's gonna be like one of those where you have to like make like a raptor claw.
Yeah.
And like you have to go like this.
Yeah.
And like move the thing like that.
You
get carpal tunnel in like a week.
I keep seeing like theory videos about like the weird tech on it.
Yeah.
I think the coolest one in my opinion is so people have seen that there's a USB-C port on the top and the bottom. So people are speculating that maybe they'll sell some sort of like other like screen. So it's like it becomes like a DS of some sorts where it's like a dual monitor system, which could be really cool. I honestly think it makes me sad that the Wii U was such like a letdown overall because the concept of having another screen while you're playing a game is actually like very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Especially for a game like Zelda where you're constantly like opening your map or your inventory. Right. So like being able to just like look down really quick and be like, oh, I want Link to have this bow or whatever. Instead of like holding the button and like scrolling through all those pages. Yeah. You're like one of like 5 people that played Breath of the Wild on their Wii U.
I was, and it was worth it.
Did you get to use the other screen? Really?
Yeah.
Did you use it to equip or was it just the map?
I think it was just the map, but I think when you go to the menu, you can like use the screen if you want. I don't remember. It was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
But... And then was the toes game on there too? The Zelda where you had to kill the guy with the toes? Or is that on
At first I was like, did you say toads or toes? What toes are you talking about?
Toes,
the toes.
The Ganon toes.
Yeah. That was no.
That was on the Wii, right?
No. That's on Switch. They ported that to Switch. That's not on the Wii U.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, Skyward Sword.
The original.
Oh, the original one. That's on the original Wii.
Oh, original Wii.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which is bizarre that like Wii U like just kind of
did away with like the movement and stuff.
Well, no, I was gonna say Wii U like didn't have a Zelda. Like it had Breath of the Wild, but Twilight it was kind of like was Twilight Princess was GameCube Wii.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I went on the GameCube?
Yep. I never played it on GameCube. I got it on Wii.
I think I played it on the Wii as well.
And you know what else is weird about that is correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that on the GameCube version Link is left-handed, but on the Wii version he's right-handed because they wanted people to be able to use the waggle thing. So I don't know if it's something like they flipped the whole world or if it's just Link that's kind of flipped.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Switch 2. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really excited for it because obviously it's gonna have better graphics and stuff like that. It's still not gonna be up to par with like a Steam Deck or something. I don't think. But yeah, just give me more Nintendo games.
Yeah.
It's honestly like the thing though is we saw this like new Mario Kart like briefly, right? But it already feels like did you guys really want to show that off as the first thing? It doesn't look any better than Mario Kart 8 at all. And if anything,
it almost looks worse.
It almost looks worse. Like the character models are like kind of like weirdly round.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. And what the theories are is that it's like more like either really big tracks or it is kind of open world. That would be my dream, dude.
Really? An open
Give
world
me
Mario Kart?
Need for Speed Mario, dude.
Yeah.
Where you like have your character, you pick your character, you go out on a journey with them, you find the other Nintendo characters driving around a world map. They give you some like little
Cool
dumb
missions.
quest.
Like the movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You get new parts for your car. You can like make it like, give it better like shocks and wheels and frames and stuff like that. Cool paint jobs. You can get skins for your characters maybe. Like that would be I would play that game forever. Like I've played a lot of Mario Kart 8, but it's like it's usually only like if I'm playing with a friend or whatever. Like
that game pisses me off so bad.
Why?
Dude, it's like I'm still trying to get 3-star gold on all the maps.
Oh, man.
I have like 2 or 3 left, but dude, it's like that's my airplane game. When I'm on the airplane, I play Mario Kart.
Really?
I can't get mad because there's people all around me. So I just do like a little I like grit my teeth. Because I'm like winning. I get to the last map, and of course I get in 6th place. Or like I don't know, I'm playing
you get rubber
perfectly
banded.
and I get murked.
I feel like the strategy is to stay in like 4th or 5th until the very end. Then you get some like good items, and you could just like
it's not a bad strategy.
Blow someone
I just
up.
can't help but like be in the front. You know what I mean? It's, like, it's inevitable. Those of you who have faced my wrath in Double Dash or Mario Kart 8, like you know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, wouldn't an open world Mario Kart be awesome?
No, I think that would be sick. But how dare you ask Nintendo for that?
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Yeah, what's up with that, dude?
They're just
why? But on the same hand, it's like Mario proper and Zelda, like they're like, we're gonna go balls to the wall. Zelda is we're gonna give you a 120-hour long game. Mario Odyssey, there's 999 moons or whatever. Like those games are like some of the best games ever made in all of existence. But then they put out these other IP, and it's like, why can't you just do more?
Why can't you just not do these other crap games and just focus on this one and make it really good?
Yeah, I guess because like even like Mario Kart 8 is one of the best-selling games on the Switch, and it's essentially a port of another game, of an old game with new maps.
Well, no, I would say that Mario Kart 8 it feels really good, like.
But it was a Wii U game. It's literally a port.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I guess.
Like they literally didn't make a new game. Like
true.
It's like
I didn't think of that.
That's what's so weird about their decisions. I mean, it's amazing, but yeah, it just
the game feels really good. I'll say that. Like it feels nice to like. I like using the flat fast cars that like you really have to drift like properly.
Dude, the motorcycles look so cool, but they suck to control.
Yeah, they're not fun to control in my opinion because it's like you don't really drift with them. You kind of like do sharp turns.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drift with them obviously, but they're not my preferred playstyle either. But, yeah, like you're obsessed with like the Link's bike. Like you can.
I just want to try it, and then I take a turn and I like fall off, into like the Donkey Kong abyss or whatever. Okay, so I think the last thing we should talk about is the new Pokemon game.
Right.
Is that obviously had a trailer recently.
Please make a new custom Robo game for Switch 2. I'll buy it. I will buy it.
Yeah, they'll get one.
And a new Star Fox game, which has been rumored. Please.
I feel like new Star Fox game, they could do really cool stuff with if they like made it good. I just feel like they would not. They're just. It's going to be half-assed if they make a new Star Fox game.
Here's what I would say about Star Fox, because one of the more recent ones that they made, the Star Fox Zero or whatever it was, there were some levels that were like really boring and like annoying to even play. And at times I just wanted to kind of fly around and just do the space thing in the R-Wings or whatever the vehicles were. But they kind of made me do all these other annoying missions. So I think what they should do in this new one, if they make one, is have a mode that's just aerial or the vehicles, and then do another mode that's like, Fox gets out of his R-Wing. He talks. It's like more story based.
Yeah.
To appeal to like the people who kind of want more of an experience than just the R-Wing style combat. because I feel like we grew up with that, like R-Wing style combat. It feels almost arcadey in a way, in the way that it plays.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people will really like that. I mean, hell, that would be crazy if they put it in like an arcade format. You could go to the arcade and play it.
Yeah. I think it's another thing too though, where it's like they have to make it a game. Like I feel like a lot of times with like Mario Kart is a very good example. It's like you're just like playing races over and over and over. Like make it in a video game in 2025. You know what I mean? Like something else to do. So again, with Star Fox, for example, like maybe the map, instead of it being so like linear, and I know the old Star Fox kind of had different ways, but like it should be like a spider web. That would be cool. First of all, right? Like you see the little node and you're like, you could go this way, or this way. And then from there, this way, or this way. And then it's like, you're kind of like making your path around the galaxy through like, maybe there's like 200 levels, but you can really only do 100 of them to get to the end or whatever.
It's like procedural or something.
Or procedural. I feel like
Nintendo
cool.
is afraid of procedural. You know, can you think of any procedural Nintendo game? I think they're afraid of procedural.
Maybe. I also feel like it's kind of more of like an indie shtick because it's like an easy way to create replayability.
Good.
Yeah, it is good.
It's like
I could see them doing with Star Fox. But yeah, I mean, could you imagine like, you know, you have this spider web, like you said, you get to a planet that's like a hub zone. You hop off as Fox. You have some like credits that you got for doing some bounty mission that like you had to like go off the beaten path to like shoot down some bad guys, whatever. You get some money, you bring it back to this planet. You're running around as Fox. You go to like some mechanic. You buy like, you know, upgrades for your jets, your you know, boosters or whatever. Like that would make it a video game.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, here's 12 levels where you're just linearly going straight. Like,
and you just get one command and being like, Fox,
yeah,
you have to go defeat this person.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
sir.
It's like, I feel like people are such like apologists for Nintendo. And like, we'll talk about Pokemon in a second, but like they're always like, well, you know, it's not a really big selling IP, so blah. It's like, we'll make it a big selling IP. Like you can sell Star Fox to millions of people if you actually just make it cool, you know, and make it like what people want to play. Put like content into it.
Put the other characters in, you know, make a good story. Add some new characters.
Yeah, maybe Fox gets like new jackets that have like cool little like graphics on them or something.
Right. And like a little pulley thing that he pulls. Like puffs up and he can like fly or something.
So random. Doesn't he have like some like Vegeta scouter too?
Yeah, Wolf has that.
Oh, Wolf has that?
I think Wolf has that.
Checking Fox's power level.
Yeah. What does the scouter say about his power level?
Oh man.
Yeah, they have a good. That would be an interesting relationship to explore, Fox and Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they were like in a space battle and then they like crash landed together on this planet and it's just the two of them and they have to figure out how to work together, and then like one of them, Wolf, betrays Fox and it turns into a cool story. I should just write for you guys.
They're never gonna put an actual story into Star Fox.
Right, that's right.
I'm like convinced they're not ever even gonna make
Star Fox. Well, you've seen like that animation that they made, right? Have you seen the Star Fox animation?
It's like recent.
It's like 10 to 15 minutes long.
Maybe you sent it.
It's really good. It's like really good quality. But it's like this like
was this in like 2006?
No, it was like a couple years ago. Oh. They send like it's part of the Star Fox, one of the Star Fox assault missions. And they like turned it into like a mini anime. But it's pretty cool.
And Nintendo did this, or it's a fan thing?
No, I think it's a Nintendo thing.
Huh.
It's pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah, but it's short. I mean, I wish it was longer, but
yeah. So what do you think about Pokemon?
What do I think about Pokemon? I'm excited, man.
You ready to go walk in the 4x4 grass patch and catch some Smolives or whatever?
Right, in the designated zones. I heard today that you only stay in Lumio City. Right?
I don't know. I
heard that it only takes place in Lumio City.
I would not be surprised.
They have wild zones. So you go in the wild zone and you catch the
So
Pokemon there.
dumb. That's such a dumb idea.
Yeah.
It's like a legitimate. It's just a bad idea.
I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be
Dude,
parks
they
and
have
stuff
more
there,
money
but-
than God. I don't understand why they don't put money into their own games. Their own, like, it's like the
Yeah.
staple. Like, I know they're raking it in. They're raking it in from Pokemon TCG Pocket right now.
It's because
Where does that money go, dude?
Nintendo, they have this formula that works, and they're like, let's just tweak one thing and release it instead of just trying something like Legends Arceus was the first time they tried something that was like,
yeah,
they changed like a couple things, you know, like.
But this new game almost seems like, I don't want to call it a step back because I know it's gonna have new features from that. But it is a step back in the sense, if it really is only in the city, you know, the other game you're in like 5 different, like, at least like open world zones.
Yeah. I'm
with
I'm
kind of different
anticipating
terrain
they're
and
probably going to
stuff.
have some type of different. You're probably going to step into different environments.
I'm sure you are, but it's like,
and like little parks and stuff.
it's gonna be like, are you upstairs or downstairs?
Are you in a yellow building or a blue building? Right.
With like the flat, like, sticker graphic windows.
Yeah, and the portals that like rotate you and then you appear somewhere else. You fly up.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I'm looking forward to the combat system that they showed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, you know, it looks like something that Pokemon fans have been asking for a while. Maybe this is.
I
their
actually
first chance
haven't
to
like
try it.
I kind of like scrubbed through it. I still haven't like watched it.
Oh, you
like
haven't?
in depth. Yeah.
Why don't you pull it up?
I
and watch it real quick.
I can. I feel like it's kind of long, isn't it?
You can just find the part that they show off the combat.
Where is my mouse? Pokemon Legends. That's the other thing too. They always like pronounce these. It's pronounced ZA, according to. Is it this one? I can't really see from
I think so, yeah.
an extended look. Yeah.
Just scrub through and see if you can find the
Combat part.
Pokemon Legends ZA
Yeah,
is
here.
a new title in the
We're just-
Pokemon
Is it?
series.
right there.
Easier to catch. If you're having a hard time
Go
catching
forward a
one,
bit.
have one of your Pokemon use its moves to
Oh, look.
weaken the target, making it easier to catch.
Like,
This
do
is
they have
an
the
alternate
crafting
style of
thing
Pokemon
anymore?
battling not seen in previous titles.
The-
Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or
You
different
can like
areas of
have the
effect.
Pokemon move around.
So
And
choose your timing and
Yeah,
position it
that's
carefully
cool.
to gain the upper hand. Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a
See,
move.
this is the other thing I noticed too.
What's
Because
more,
they're doing this
certain Pokemon
mechanic,
can go beyond
all the
average,
Pokemon are
by
the same
undergoing
freaking
mega
size.
evolution.
right.
So an Onyx is like as
When
big as a
trainer
freaking
Iso
Squirtle.
resonates with the message held by the
It's just like,
the Pokemon will do
these
more
are the kinds of
than
decisions that's like, there had to have been a better way to do it.
turning the tide of battle in its
Yeah.
See, why is a Charizard like so small, dude?
Charizard is actually only
As
like
Lumiose
5'5" or
continues
something.
its
Really?
transformation
Yeah, it's
into
not
a
that
city
tall.
That belongs to both people and Pokemon. Who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await
I'm
you.
pretty sure
Is
that
that
Venusaur
it?
is bigger than Charizard or something like that. I know
Huh.
Venusaur is
These
very
areas,
tall.
located
Yeah, these are the
throughout
wild
the world,
zones.
give wild Pokemon
The
habitats
the
where they
4x4.
can thrive. To catch one of these wild Pokemon,
I mean, it's a cool
take
vibe,
care.
but
Then
it's just
throw a Pokeball. If you're having a hard time catching one, have one of your Pokemon use its moves.
okay. So let's see if we can like look at the. Curious about
Moves
the.
can have a
Okay, so this is interesting too that they have. It's almost like. So what are the abilities gonna?
cooldowns. It looks
Yeah,
like
are they
they have
gonna
cooldowns.
charge up and then you like press a button and it runs the attack? So is this like a full real time
I think so.
battling?
I don't know if it's full. Yeah, I mean, I think there's cooldowns between the
Longer or
moves.
shorter
Let's
It's like,
see. Are we gonna see
Yeah,
him?
like water gun.
So choose
Boom.
your timing and position.
Yeah, it
then
did. It
there's a
was
little
filling
cooldown.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, this is really cool, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's. I think this is gonna be interesting.
Through battles and and dodge incoming
But then they're
But the
gonna.
movement looks kind of weird. Look,
Swap Pokemon
he just
if you need
moved.
to and
I don't
find
know
the
if he
right
used the
moment to
stick to
unleash
move the
Let me see.
character.
battles
I don't know
and
if he
dodge
used this.
incoming
Look, he
attacks.
just moved to the left,
Swap
and then the
Pokemon
Onyx
if you need
followed.
to and find the
I'm
right
not sure
moment
if
to unleash
Maybe
it's
your
based
they-
on the player's
Yeah,
movement,
yeah,
or
maybe
if
they
you use the
follow
stick
you.
to move.
Certain
Oh.
Yeah.
Pokemon can go
'Cause it looks
beyond
kind of goofy if the
by
Pokemon just kind of
undergoing
follows you.
mental
Yeah.
evolution.
I don't know. I am definitely curious because this is definitely something more akin to what I've been wanting from this franchise.
Right.
It just, yeah, it's like they have to do one of two things. They have to either just go straight action and make it like really cool, flashy, like you're like really battling each other, or it's got to be, and this is just my opinion, like much more technical turn-based combat. You know what I mean? Like, I know everyone's like, well, if you use Leer, then I'm just like, no, that's not. No,
Yeah.
it's there's better ways to do turn-based combat that I don't know. Like at the very least, what was cool about Arceus was they had the different styles that you could like be like, I'm gonna do the I forget what it was called, the strong style. You do double damage, but you take more damage as well.
Agile, was
right?
it agile style and strong style?
I think it's something like that, right? So I don't know, like stuff like that kind of adds on to the pre-existing mechanics.
Formula,
Yeah, I think is a really interesting approach.
Yeah, they had a couple new things they added. Like actually, they changed a lot in Arceus, and I think that was a fresh experience for people. So
Just from top of my head memory, I feel like that was probably the most fun Pokemon game I've played.
yeah,
Like I think Scarlet and Violet was like good, but
I enjoyed the gym battles in Scarlet and Violet. Not Scarlet and Violet, the one before that, Sword and Shield.
yeah, with the soccer stadium
Yes.
things. Yeah,
That
I
was
kind of have
really
some
cool.
nostalgia for that too. That was cool. At first, it was kind of dumb, like this
Yeah.
big Pokemon, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of
Dude, but it's cool when you get in there and it's like the music starts
all, like,
playing,
cheering
they're like
for you
cheering
and
you
stuff.
on. It's cool.
The best part about that game, in my opinion, was the fashion.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it, dude. I was like so excited to get like cool like Gengar hoodies and stuff like
Right.
that, and, like cool shoes. And then in
Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet, you had this like stupid little schoolboy outfit on that like you can't change.
Right.
Like what?
Or else someone will get sad.
Those are the those are the decisions though where it's like why can't they just add on to what's working well instead of just like, oh, we're going to take away stuff and put something new that's different. I don't know. They need a moment of like Tears of the Kingdom to Breath of the Wild where they're like, okay, this is just Breath of the Wild, but just with more. So I don't know.
Maybe this game will be that. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm pretty psyched for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I think this is a good point to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you guys can see, we're kind of just like easing back into it, but we are going to be more consistent now. If you guys are in our Discord and you want us to talk about any interesting topics, anything like new that's coming out, just let us know, and yeah, we'll be happy to check it out.
Yep.
So
and keep an eye out and ear out for some news coming soon. So yeah, we're excited to share some cool stuff soon.
yeah, definitely. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
Take care.
Bye.